Congress just passed a big package of laws that intended to help people deal with the pandemic and the economic impact that it's caused. For many people, that will include a stimulus check and boost to unemployment benefits. In this video, we'll cover how much stimulus money you may receive and when, unemployment increases, and eviction moratorium extensions. We also cover even more in our blog, so when you're done watching this video, be sure to click the link below for more information. First of all, am I going to get a check? In the spring, the CARES Act sent checks for as much as $1,200 to many people throughout the country. This time around, the amount is lower at $600 or possibly less. Anyone who made less than $75,000 last year will receive $600. From there, the amount diminishes by $5 for every $100 earned up to $87,000, where the relief stops. So if you earned $80,000 in 2019, you would get $350. The number is higher for someone who filed as a head of a household, where it starts to diminish at $112,500 and maxes out at $124,500, or for married couples filing jointly, where the figures are doubled, starting to diminish at $150,000, maxing out at $174,000. And if you didn't make enough to file taxes last year, don't worry, you're still eligible. If your income dropped a lot in 2020 from what it was in 2019, you may be able to get the money from a stimulus check applied to your next tax return. What about kids? If you have children, you'll receive $600 per child. Adults who are listed as dependents on tax returns, however, don't count. So if you have 2 toddlers, you'll receive an extra $1,200. But if you have a 22-year-old child still living with you, you won't receive any additional money. When and how will the checks arrive? Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin said checks could begin arriving as early as next week. Those who have direct deposit set up with the IRS for their tax refund checks will probably get checks first. If you don't have direct deposit set up with the IRS, see our blog post about the stimulus to learn how to sign up. After that, the government will begin mailing out paper checks. After that, it will start mailing out preloaded debit cards. They should send out the last of the checks and cards by January 15th. Are there any other notable differences from the CARES Act? Other than the payment being half the size of the check provided in the spring under the CARES Act, there are some new features that attempt to correct things that were criticized in that payment. Joint filing. Unlike the checks in the spring, someone who has a valid Social Security number but files taxes jointly with someone who does not will still receive a check. A different policy in the spring meant that some US citizens who filed with undocumented immigrants did not receive checks. Outstanding debts. Additionally, the money will go to recipients regardless of whether or not the person has outstanding debts. In the spring, some people facing liens or wage garnishments learned that their stimulus check had been taken by debt holders. What about unemployment benefits? The stimulus package also extends a supplement to unemployment benefits, often known as unemployment insurance or UI. Each state runs its own UI program, and the amount you receive will vary from state to state. Under the CARES Act, the federal government provided an additional $600 per week to those benefits, which ended in July. Under the recently approved package, it's a $300 supplement. The law also allows people to remain on state UI programs longer. Many would have been thrown off as soon as next week. Now, they'll be allowed to stay on for an extra 11 weeks. But no matter when you began collecting unemployment, the extra $300 will stop by April 5th. What else does the new stimulus package do? It extends eviction protections for another month to January 31st. If you lost wages due to the pandemic and are having a hard time making rent or paying your mortgage and are living in a home or apartment with a federally insured mortgage, you may be protected from eviction even if you can't pay rent. It also sets aside $25 billion to people who pay rent. The package also adds billions of dollars to the Paycheck Protection Program, which provides low-interest loans to businesses to help them survive the current downturn. Were eForms the biggest database of legal documents? There's more to know about this stimulus bill, so be sure to hit the link in the video description below to check out our article, where we cover even more.